Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
We got a new sponsor.
Oh, shit. What?
I know, it's been crazy. I've been trying to keep it secret all day. But
What?
We've got a new sponsor.
Okay.
It's actually pretty legit.
Wow.
It took a lot of convincing. It took a lot of weird, a strange amount of paperwork, I would say.
Any butt touching?
Well, there's always going to be, in litigation, there'll always be butt touching. But I'm going to go ahead and just give you a hint on what the new sponsor is going to be.
Okay. No fucking
That's
way,
right,
bro.
That's right. Back9problems.com. Motherfuckers.
Oh, how'd you know?
You got golf apparel, golf shit. Oh, my God. They got all the best golf shit, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
At Back9 Problems, we designed golf gear for the average golfer.
Is that, are we gonna get in trouble? Is that copyright technically?
That might have been illegal. You know what? This would definitely be illegal. Ready? All right. Ready? When things start to fall apart on the back nine, at least you'll look good. That's gotta be copyright infringement. How'd you get in trouble for that?
Man, Doug, if you get a cease and desist, I apologize.
You're gonna get a letter from the Council of Cams. Council of Cam's not gonna be happy about this one.
Okay. We got shirts. We got hats.
we got
accessories, baby. Yeah.
Bro.
I think last week we went over the divot fixer.
Yeah,
right?
we hit the fixer again.
I
just
think
a classic shout out.
Maybe the BAP rag we should do today.
Dude,
what do you think?
The BAP rag is a classic. I think this should be the number.
You can't go wrong, bro.
I think this needs to be like the number one selling thing.
Yeah.
The quality of the BAP rag, it just looks like it's like the softest, nicest little hand towel ever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's convenient. It's got the little ring on it, so you just hang it off of like your belt like loop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. See what you do, Doug, right? And I'm gonna give you a little bit of like website ideas, right?
Yeah.
So what you do is, you know how like when you scroll down on the main page and it just shows you your shirts and then it goes into like the next category, right?
Yeah.
What you do instead is you pick your favorite 3 to 5 products, shirts, hats, whatever, divot fixers, some BAP rags, of course, right?
Yep.
And then you put its own little column at the very top, right? That it's quote unquote best sellers.
Yep.
And you put your best. Doesn't matter if they don't sell.
Yeah.
All that matters
we know they don't.
is those dumb motherfuckers who go, it's your best sellers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, damn, everybody's hitting up that black BAP rag, huh?
I don't even know what that fixture is, but I won.
I will say the white BAP rag is intimidating.
Why?
Because I wouldn't want to get it dirty.
Oh, fair.
It's a rag.
It's like the same logic as like a white car.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
like you could see the dirt way easier. And
Well,
then,
I mean, just get the black one then.
well, I think it's only supposed to be for your balls. And if you use a lot of soap,
Oh yeah, it's for your balls.
if you use
alright.
a lot of soap and you do a good job, then they shouldn't get that much dirty wiping your balls off.
Put the balls in your rag,
Yeah,
dry
you
them
know.
off real good, and they'd be shiny.
Yeah, get the fixer out. You know what I'm saying? Get the divots going. Get some divots going. Getting them all nice and turned over.
Oh yeah.
Back9 Problems, promo code thickness, all lowercase letters.
You ask them why. I don't think they know either.
Nope, they didn't have a reason for themselves. But I'll tell you what, when things fall apart on the back nine, at least you'll look good.
Oh yeah. No,
No, we can't do that. Did we figure out that was not okay?
I don't know. We're just doubling down now.
I think it's good marketing. I think that's what they need to start using. I think
I don't even know. Like technically, I wonder if the Taco Bell sound is like copywritten. It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
It's a fucking bell.
I mean, come on though.
That's
Everyone
true.
knows
You know
what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I was saying earlier when you were setting it up, like it makes me feel like a Manchurian candidate because I hear the Taco Bell and I just get hungry.
Oh yeah, you start salivating.
Start thinking about
you get
like
the Pavlov's dog.
yeah, like
thing,
I automatically can taste just a regular supreme taco on a hard shell.
Yeah,
Just,
you can almost feel the
it's
diarrhea
weird,
forming
yeah.
afterwards, right?
The Baja Blast as it fucking curdles everything inside of me and helps me not throw it up.
yeah, your butthole kind of puckers a little bit. When you think
Baja
about
Blast
it, you
is
know?
actually meant to help traverse the intestines, both large and small.
Oh, it's a natural laxative.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it just
Really?
takes the beef and takes it through the hallway, the shit tunnel hallway for you.
Yeah.
And then that, it's like when you go to a Korean barbecue. Have you ever been to one of these?
Of course.
Like
one of these.
like the
You
ones
better be one of these motherfucking places.
the ones where like
Off the chain.
it's like hibachi damn near where you have to cook your own food.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So at the end, they give you a little cup of drink that you're supposed to drink that's just got no name to it whatsoever. And they're like, here, drink this. And you're like, why? And they're like, so you don't have a heart attack.
Yes, you don't die.
So yeah, that way you can shit and
Oh
not
my
just
God.
have one of your kidneys fucking explode because of all the fucking goji beef that you just ate over the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, you got the same thing
You ate-
over and over again.
You ate nothing but meat for
Which is,
45
that's
minutes.
all you do.
Yeah.
As you do at the Korean barbecue.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
bring all those adorable little plates with like the bullshit on them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kept it a secret, but remember like 200 episodes ago, like a good 200 episodes ago, I had an idea for a Korean barbecue spot. Same setup, right?
Okay.
So your table's the grill. You know what I'm saying? You order like raw meats and you cook them yourself, and then a bunch of little plates full of bullshit.
Yeah.
Mexican style. I mean, think about it. You got like your asadas, your chickens,
Yes.
like just bags of mystery meat covered in some form of juices. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just mystery meat, but it's like $4 a pound.
It's been coagulating.
It's like
for God
$4 a
knows how
pound,
long.
though. Yeah, like you get like a whole whatever animal it was for like $10.
A little bit of quail, a little bit of kangaroo,
It's like whatever they fucking captured that day.
some alligator.
Yeah, and
maybe
then
a little bit of cat.
so and that shit's always cooked on the grill anyway. So you just cook that at your little table, and then the little plates, the adorable little plates, like cheese and like jalapenos.
Oh yeah.
Maybe some diced
Oh yeah,
tomatoes.
they always give you like a little side serving, but you want to go fancy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so because the Koreans, they'll give you the Koreans, they'll give you like all those little plates, and they'll be like, one will be like bean sprouts, one will be like some type of like curry paste of whatever.
Oh
sort.
yeah.
Yeah,
They want
like-
you to have like varieties of flavors and textures too. You know, usually, so they'll give you like I think they've even given out like calamari at some places, some fancier ones for like free and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like
So we do that, but yeah, it's all like condiments for Mexican food, right? And then you order either burritos, tacos, or chips to cook at your little table.
okay.
Right, so you order all the meats,
Chips
and then
would be easy to cook.
yeah, you order all the meat, and like you order like, do you want big tortillas or little tortillas, and then do you want flour or corn? So if you want to make chips, you'd probably get a bunch of corn tortillas and then just break them, cut them into fours or whatever, and then the meat's on the side, and it's like a family style build your own fiesta situation.
I would fucks with this place.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just Mexican barbecue, basically. Is what it's called, right?
Yeah,
Instead
it's
of Korean
Mex-
barbecue,
it's
Mexican
make it
barbecue?
yourself Mexican food.
Yes.
Yeah, make it have a little.
Oh, would you brand it that way? Make it yourself barbecue?
No.
I was gonna say because that's connotations, right?
No,
I think
no.
you just rip
I would-
off Korean barbecue and just call it Mexican barbecue.
Yeah,
You know?
Senior Koreans.
Yes. Yeah, dude. I would fucks with that place big time. Dude.
I would fucking eat the fuck out of
Sounds
that.
amazing, dude.
Mexican food is similar to Korean food. Like a lot of the meat's like lower end and it's cheap,
yeah.
so it's easy to just buy shit tons of it and then overturn it and make your money back.
I wonder. The only thing though, like, because you like usually when you do like tortillas like to chips, you take the soft flour tortillas, right, or corn, whatever your taste is.
Yeah.
I think it's corn. Typically, is what you're supposed to use.
Yeah.
But then you cut them and dice it in fours. Cut it in fours, and then you throw it into a big ass pot of oil, and then that makes it like into chips, right?
Yeah.
So that naturally would be at the tables, right?
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
So would you have that be the way you cook the meat too?
No, so I think on your table you're gonna need a big cast iron pan with oil in it and your own little thing of oil.
Yeah.
And then that way you could choose the oil level in the pan and say like you're making tacos, you use not too much oil,
Yeah.
and then when you want to be like, I'm gonna make some chips, you could dump some oil in there, start making chippies.
Okay.
And then when when you want to go back to tacos, you take that oil, you pour it into the waiter's pocket when they come by.
Jesus.
Hot oil,
Just fucking burn.
take
them.
this for me,
Jesus.
Julio.
Bitch. Yeah.
Estefano, please.
Estefano.
Gracias. I will take
No,
more black beans.
So would you also get like a variety of meats beyond your typical, or would you just go for like the hot spot, like the typical like carne asada? I don't know, fucking meat, chicken. What is pork? Just pork.
Well, there's a couple types of pork. There's the carnitas, but then there's also cabeza.
Would you do carnitas?
Cabeza's like the face.
So but the point being, would you have like 3 to 4, maybe 5 like meats, or would you have like a
all
fucking
of them.
variety?
All of them.
Dude?
You gotta have all of them. You gotta
Okay.
have shrimp too.
Okay.
Because Mexicans love shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to damn near make a michelada if you want to. Like,
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then I guess my point being is with the oil and everything, I wonder if you would need to sign a waiver with that kind of stuff, right? Because oil, when you use a lot of it, can fucking burn the fuck out of, especially kids.
Yeah, but I mean, so can the
Like-
table. I'm sure there's already all
Sure.
sorts of fucking nasty permitting that comes along. Like,
Yeah.
think about like hot pot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a fucking
exactly that
cauldron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a fucking cauldron in front of you.
Kids burn their hands on that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But you
Like,
know what? If your child burns their hand on it, maybe
Lesson learned. Motherfucker.
Hopefully they don't do it again. If they do it
keep
twice,
your hand off, dummy.
if they do it twice, you got to strike them.
The scalding red
Yeah.
thing. I'll just put my hands all over.
Yeah. Like if I had a child who's sitting next to me at dinner,
You just watch
we
them
both
do
have
it.
we both have Shirley temples.
Yeah.
Just like me and my dad. And he reaches out, and I see him going to touch the pot. Similar to my father, I think I would let him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this is going to be a good lesson.
A
right
real
here.
good lesson.
And then he would touch it, and he'd burn himself, and
Yep.
then we'd be at that. Maybe
Yep.
I'd make a joke to try to get him not to cry about it.
Right.
And then if I saw him go to touch it again, that's when I would involve
Slap
myself.
his hand out.
Yeah.
What are you doing, you stupid?
It's like, come on, man! You didn't fucking learn that one on your own,
What the
really?
Fuck? What the fuck?
And then he gets to sleep outside in the little fucking dungeon that I built him in the backyard for when he's bad.
Yeah.
It's one cot in a shed, and so you're gonna live like your old man lived in his 20s.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Every time you're a piece of shit, you get to sleep in the cot in a
Yep.
shed, no insulation, cold,
Yep.
sad,
Yeah.
scary a little bit.
Maybe a little bit alone.
The door doesn't close all the way,
No.
so like you could try your best, maybe even put things in front of it.
That'd
Dude.
be a great punishment.
Yeah. Dude,
That'd be a great punishment. He's in your backyard. He's
Yeah.
safe.
He's fine.
Right?
He's still terrified of the night. Yeah,
But as a kid, yeah, for sure.
I had one of those moments last night, like a little kid. I had a
Yeah?
little kid moment. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So all right. So to go into it, I did an asbestos abatement for the first time in my life yesterday.
No, it's scary.
Now we're gonna talk more about that, but let's fast forward a little bit. So we did an abatement. The house is taped off with plastic, and we've got like a tunnel system essentially to get in and out of the house. Now I wanted to, thinking that this is a better idea, is leave the doors and windows open. Basically the only way it goes from the bathroom at the end of the hall, which is open. Which has an open window and the bathroom vent just going 24/7 right now. And then the hallway, and then that leads all the way to the front door, and everything else is sealed off. So I'm like, okay. Like, last night, I convinced Bubbles' retarded friend Tommy. I paid him in Subway sandwiches
Tommy.
to come and clean the fucking the area that we did the asbestos abatement pull out, which is hilarious.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Because
I'm
essentially,
sure he didn't give a fuck.
no, I told him Subway sandwiches was payment. He was
Yeah.
over very quickly.
Yeah.
He left his own daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, he's retarded.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. So I had the roommates leave for 24 hours. Essentially,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, look, you guys can't be in here while we do this. Like, and you can't just be in here an hour after we do it either. Like, asbestos is a nasty bitch,
Yeah.
and it takes, from what I'm reading, it takes about 48 to 72 hours to really settle. So I mean, it's been 24. The roommates are back inside, and there's really only so much I could do about that. But
Oh well.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Roll the dice.
But it's not like we were doing popcorn sealing, you know? I think the hard part when you're researching asbestos on your own is you can't find too many of the real answers.
Yeah.
Because asbestos people don't share that with you because it's expensive as fuck to do it.
Right.
And they'd rather be doing it. So, like, when I read 48 to 72 hours, but I think that's if you're doing, like, a big job. Most of this was in the attic.
Yeah.
And we passed it through the garage.
Right.
Which, I mean, a whole wall is open. Because we kept the garage door open the whole time.
Right.
And then it's, it's getting wrapped in 3mm plastic and then moved across and where it's put into garbage bags, where it's put into double bags. So the air in the garage really never took too much exposure, as far as I'm concerned, because everything that came out of the hatch was already plasticed off. So
Sure.
I think the garage was fine, but fucking big words.
I'm trying to think of, bro? You gonna pass out over there?
I started my brain started overloading on that one.
He's so good.
I was trying to bringing it back. We do the job, and I convinced Bubbles' friend Tommy to come over. We both put respirators on, and I bought 2 big packs of Lysol wipes. And we essentially cleaned the whole tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Sealing the floor.
Right.
Including
Wiped
the bathroom. Everything. Yeah. Went through the whole 2 packs. I told them, let's not save any of these. Let's just use the whole thing at once.
Yeah, might as well.
So I'm hoping leaving the doors and everything open all night in the tunnel. The tunnel was disinfected entirely. That's going to be enough that they're in there right now. I'm not going back in there for a day or 2, but they seem to be quite happy. Dude, I took a shower with a respirator on. Oh, they're coming back just hanging out. These motherfucking savages, dude.
Oh, the image of you butt-ass naked with just the respirator on in the shower is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, dude. Walking through the plastic tunnel, butt naked with a respirator on, look like some type of sick Fallout creature. Like a mini boss in Fallout 4.
You're making like cricket noises and shit, like weird dimension.
Yeah. Dude, oh god. But so last night though, I'm like, I gotta leave this all open. I need it to air out as much as I can. I'm only getting the roommates out for a day. So I really want to make sure, so the creepy part is leaving everything open.
Yeah.
And then not sleeping in the house.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm in the backyard where I sleep, but I know nobody's in the house because the Bubbles and Lynn Pat are all gone. So I'm just like, if anybody tries to take the house tonight, I mean, they're going to, but they're going to get cancer doing it, but they're definitely going to achieve whatever they want to achieve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If they wanted to steal some shit, they can.
So,
they'll definitely steal cancer with them.
Yeah.
But,
So what I did was, like a child, when I closed, because we have like one of those little gates in front of where the doorway is.
Sure.
So we have like a little bit of front yard that's fenced off and then a little bit of front yard that's not fenced off. I put the garbage and the recycling can in front of the gate so it couldn't open. Because it's broken right now.
Okay.
And it's like, all right, it's broken
Very
enough.
guerrilla tactics.
It's broken enough that the gate will just kind of open itself.
Sure.
And then you'll be looking directly through the screen door into the open house.
Jesus.
So like it's like
straight in.
Any dude walking around like 2 a.m, like that's perfect. That's beautiful.
They could just kind of prowl through, do
Yeah.
a little scouting, see what's open, what's not, and then go, oh shit, no one's here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that would drive me fucking crazy too.
And then
just thinking about that,
the gate had it has some bells on it essentially, so we can hear when people open it. So like in my head, I was like, okay, we got the camera on the garage, and one of the cans that I put in front of this gate was actually pretty fucking heavy. So if anybody does try to come through this shit, I mean, it's gonna take them a second, and hopefully I fucking hear that.
Right.
In which case, what do you really do? Because I mean, I've been collecting knives since 3rd grade.
Right.
So I have some knives that are like longer than my arm.
Yes.
But am I really coming out at like 2 a.m, pretty much naked with a fucking buck knife the length of my forearm?
You scare them the fuck away.
Yeah. You hope.
Scare them the fuck away.
You hope, because what if it comes down to a knife battle, bro?
Oh yeah, and they're like fucking tweaking out of their mind.
Yeah, he's got like a pocket knife. I've got a bayonet, but he's fucking on crack.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
right?
he's not afraid of being stabbed, and I am. Like, and I'm naked.
And you got the biggest knife.
Yeah. I'm fucking pretty much naked. Like, there's nothing to protect me from knife wounds.
You're like treating the big ass knife like it's a little knife, trying to go for little stabs and then bounce back, and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could see that for sure. But at the same time, like, you have enough of like kind of corner where not a whole. If you were on that main street, where like people from Bart especially naturally just kind of wander around,
Oh yeah.
But like you kind of are in a corner. And I feel like being near the school is also kind of a slight deterrent.
No,
you'd hope
it's an adult school.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a kid's school.
So we just have more trash walking around.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah,
It's degenerate kids and retarded people.
There's just no good possibilities out of this at all.
There's this crazy old lady who lives at the end of at the end of our court.
And you can't necessarily like tell your neighbors, I guess, right? Because they're all fucking wilding too, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And like, what are they gonna really do to defend the house? Like, but
like, I don't give a shit.
it's all women on both sides of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna fucking do anything.
Yeah.
But there's this lady that lives at the end of the street. She left her garage open, and just like 2 a.m, you could see this dude walk past our front yard on the camera, and then not show back up till about 3:45. Because he was just in her garage for an hour 45, just stealing everything.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Just fucking like, hey, you left it open. I'm taking everything I can.
Yeah. So like, last night I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna have to murder somebody. I just feel like this is gonna be the one night where they notice the car's gone.
Yep.
And the front door seemingly is just open, and all the lights are off. It's like, here we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
If anything, I should have just been in the house with the respirator and the bayonet, naked, just ready,
just waiting,
hiding in the plastic,
like you're a nom.
Yeah.
You're like holding the knife like in your center sternum with both hands too. You're in like what is that position where you lay on your back straight as a nail,
Oh, yeah.
There's a term for like that, laying in that position.
Fucking Viking death. I don't know. Valhalla.
Yeah. The Valhalla position. Yes, dude. Yeah, that would be terrifying. Can you imagine you're a robber, right?
Yeah.
You're going in to steal something, right? And you go into some bedroom or maybe even the garage and you see some motherfucker Valhalla laying style, right? With a fucking respirator or gas mask of some kind and a fuck off size knife.
Oh yeah.
That he's holding with 2 hands, center of his sternum, bro. And then he just sits up, like from his waist up, and then turns body to look at you.
Oh yeah.
I'm out, dog.
Oh yeah.
I'm bailing.
Well, also
whatever value was in that house ain't no important no more.
the fun part too is that it's plasticed off, so it's like you're in a tunnel, and then all of a sudden one of the walls moves, and then here emerges just a 300-pound naked, dripping wet,
in boxers,
soaking wet
respirator.
Yeah, and just a bayonet, just a fucking half a sword in his fucking hand.
Yeah, you can hear the breathing from the mask.
You're really fucked up.
I'm gonna kill you. Oh! Fucking, oh my god, bro.
Yeah, you drop probably whatever's in your hands and fucking just start going.
Yeah, and just bail.
Oh yeah.
You drop your own wallet. Here, take it. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that reminded me of what we were talking about earlier about just like the punishing your kid by putting him in the scary backyard. Just like I got to be that little kid yesterday, being like, I hope nobody tries.
Yeah, nobody dares.
I don't want to fucking have to do this. Like, I
Real
think I'd win.
Yeah,
you know
probably.
what I'm saying? Like I've got a lot of knives that are huge as fuck. I've got like the sword. I've got the size, and I know the land.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, a lot of things points to me winning as long as they don't have a gun.
You have home territory advantage.
Yeah. Like if they have a gun, I lost. But if they got a smaller knife, I think I've got.
What are the chances though?
That they've got a pistol?
Yeah.
You
like if you're robbing something, you likely don't have. I would assume you probably don't have lethal on you, other than like a knife or something.
Yeah, if you're like scouting and looking for houses that are dark.
Yeah, because either you're grabbing shit and you're succeeding, or you're getting caught and you just bail. You know, like there's
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking crazy, that's the 1%, maybe 10%.
That armed robbery shit.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, imagine if you had a gun though, and like the serial number's scratched off because somebody's already been killed by it. So
Yeah.
it's just like some burner gun.
Yeah.
And you've got that in your pocket when you go to rob a house. I'm sure you feel a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
just feel baller for sure.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
feel like
it's
you're gonna take on everything. And
it's like I can murder you and get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they
They'll
will
never
fucking
trace this
know.
gun back.
I guess that's a good point because, like, we're normal, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So, like, try to rationalize like how you would tactically be a criminal.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't really consider the variable of they just sometimes have impulse.
Yeah.
And don't think about plans. I think if I tried to be a criminal, I would try to be like too tactical about it, and that would be my downfall.
If you were to try to be like a criminal, like a career criminal, what do you think you'd go for? Do you think you'd be like an embezzling criminal or like
I would probably do like deep like get in the pockets of like politicians and shit.
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be
Like
pretty
I'd be
cool.
playing the fucking turn the gears of the literal world kind of criminal if I could.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Like-
like high class,
Like yeah.
high class
Yeah.
criminal with like a fucking
How I would do
$15
that?
million house on the
Yeah.
fucking island somewhere.
yeah. It's viewed as like a wealthy whatever, but in
Yeah.
reality, it's really turning the gears of whatever fucking
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
I live in the United States, but I'm turning Japan's country wheels or something.
That would be fucking
That'd be
sick.
fucking sick, dude.
That's
you
a
know?
pretty dope type of criminal.
Right. Yeah, but
yeah.
how I would do that, no idea.
It's a lot of planning.
No clue. What would you do?
Rapist. Yeah. I think there's a lot of impulses there. And to be able to live a life where I just get to go and have what I want, sounds pretty nice, all
Dude,
these
we're gonna get a cease and desist.
all
letter
these
from Taco
buttons,
Bell, dude.
all these buttons, just one that I needed.
Oh man, yeah, this motherfucker has 32 keys to use for all filled with sounds, and then another page of another like 15.
Yeah,
You have 40 plus sounds. He's like, nah.
no, Taco Bell all day.
Actually, we've gotten hit by a couple copyright strikes.
Have we really?
On YouTube especially.
Well, here comes another.
So probably, honestly, but when we did the Yuri Tolochko episode,
Yeah.
which was a great episode. I don't remember what one it was, but it was titled, I'm pretty sure, maybe it wasn't titled Yuri Tolochko.
No, but
I don't remember now. Regardless, there's a bit somewhere several episodes ago, where we use a piano song, and you do a bit about how Yuri Tolochko was betrayed by his fucking blow-up wife, right?
Yeah.
And that song, I guess, was copywritten somewhere,
That's hella
Thankfully,
funny.
there's a couple layers of copyright strikes, They're not like strikes outright anymore. There's
Yeah.
like, hey, this belongs to somebody, but they don't care, blah, 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 blah. There's actual Creative Commons use, Commons or whatever. And then there's real, hey, you can't use this. What is that sound we are hearing right now?
It sounds like a tractor taking over
Whoa.
a whole house at once.
Dude, that was like an alien low. I don't even know if that showed up on the microphones or not, but it was such a low frequency and it just faded randomly. Like, bro, are we about to start War of the Worlds right now?
Well, here's the thing. I've just been waiting subtly for a nuke to go off for the last 2 weeks.
Because of all the shit going on.
Did you see that Russia pulled out of the treaty saying that we can't test nukes on land anymore?
Oh, fuck.
They pulled out. They're like, no, we're going back to testing and making nukes.
Fuck.
Because we were like, we're going to make the biggest nuke ever. And Russia was like, well, then we're testing nukes again.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah,
like, you're not going to
yeah.
make some fucking planet destroyer without us making a planet destroyer too.
Yeah, we're all going to blow each other up eventually.
Yeah.
I just hope when it happens, it's quick,
We're not close enough to the city.
You never know.
We're living
The bombs
Fallout.
might get so massive that it might just break off a whole half of California.
It would be sick, but I feel like we're more likely to deal with like the mass
Fallout.
exodus fallout,
Yeah.
where it's going to be like dark clouds and chaos in the streets as people are trying to get away. which will be fun for me because then I could finally be the rapist I've always wanted to be.
Fucking God,
It's
dude.
back to whatever laws
Oh my
God created.
No,
God
bro.
made these laws, not me.
Oh, Christ.
All right. I think we've talked about this before.
Jesus.
All right, so let's say we're here where we live, right? Like
Okay. All right.
20 minutes without traffic outside of San Francisco. But there's enough hills to where if SF got nuked, I think we would be fine as far as being incinerated goes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we still got to get the fuck out of here.
Radiation would still probably kill us if we stayed long enough.
If we stayed long enough, but it's like we have a chance to go, essentially,
Right.
before it's too late. Like not like the people in SF for sure.
Yeah, they're fucked.
As soon as you see that mushroom cloud, and you notice that it's smaller than your thumb,
Yep.
and that you're gonna survive,
Yep.
what laws are in place? Is it martial law?
Anarchy, but martial law, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not
Well,
like
to be fair, the government has to declare martial law, or whatever fucking else. There's other shit in there.
yeah,
Well, I know that all of that shit depends on the government announcing it.
yeah.
As far as us knowing what it's declared, the only way we would know what's happening,
Yeah.
if it's if a military flew in, which they would most certainly fucking flood in. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And then we would learn through them what the fuck's happening. You know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in another universe, if military doesn't show up, then it's just fucking anarchy. You know,
Yeah.
it's whatever you got to do to survive.
Oh, we're
you
going to
know?
Kansas.
So, what, Kansas?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
going
you want
to-
to go to Cody?
Let's-
My boy.
Cody will
Let's go, boy.
He'll protect us.
Hell yeah.
He'll protect
Yes,
us.
He's got enough land.
Yeah, he does.
know?
He'll buy it. He'll let us just build another house on
Yeah.
his property,
Yeah.
just for temporary shelter.
I think if that ever happened, that would be the final straw for me, you know, personally, to like just snap all logic and just become lunatic. Just do
Yeah.
prison fucking workouts,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that 'cause-
just become a monster.
yeah, hell yeah, that'd be fucking awesome.
You know, like just only there to get the home and the family and everything safe and secure. And if anyone wants to join us, we go through a vetting process where the family's involved. And
Yeah.
if we get a mostly likely unanimous vote, then they can join. If we don't, they get two offers: either they leave and don't come back,
Yeah.
or they die. You
Yeah.
know, like
And
one of the
honestly,
two, you know,
if they leave, they're also being killed
maybe.
with their backs turned to us.
You know, the humanity part of me right now in this current moment
No.
wants to be nice, you know.
Yeah.
But likely the Thomas, the version of the producer in a post-apocalyptic world is probably the ruthless fucking Duncan Walking Dead style character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That is like, you are either with me or you're dead.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you just stay out of my way. That's
Yeah.
probably better for everybody.
See, I would probably be like, we'll give you the option to leave, and then if they take that option, I'd blow the back of their fucking skull out as soon as they turn around.
Yeah.
Because they leave, they're gonna go tell somebody
Bring
else.
other
They're
people.
coming back.
Yep.
They're gonna get desperate, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're coming
Or
back.
maybe they are bandits
Yeah.
and they show up and bring
Yeah, it
more
never-
people with them.
It never goes well when you let them just
No.
leave. You
No.
just have to murder them.
Unfortunately, not.
You
yeah.
have to murder them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this isn't as much like zombie apocalypse as much as it is like get out of this area. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so,
fair. That's fair.
So it's like that some laws can't exist.
Right.
Like, say if a nuclear bomb goes off on a small level, nobody's waiting for red lights in traffic anymore.
No, everyone's getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Jaywalkers no longer have the right of
No,
way.
yeah.
And we're not sharing the
It's
street
almost
with
better-
bicyclists.
I was gonna say it's almost better to be in a bike, you know.
Yeah.
So you can, because it's gonna be traffic jam city.
Yeah.
You know. Because there's so many cars. Just being on the fucking freeway during commute is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And trying to... I have actually been in traffic and thought through, if this was a disaster scenario, would I just get out of the car and start jogging? Or would I try and drive around? And 9 out of 10 times, it's like you could try, but there's so many times where you're just kind of not really getting anywhere. You're just going to clump up on something and then can't get out of your car. You know?
Yeah, I would.
Like-
I'd probably get out and then look to where the front of where the cars are and try to steal one of those.
And everyone's always like, "Oh, I'll take the back roads." It's like, here, so that's the thing. Actually, we'll separate from going kind of do an old callback to City Bumpkins. The difference between city and country.
Yeah.
You know, everyone here will be like, "Don't you yawn, you motherfucker, you insulting asshole."
I slept terrified all night of being raped and attacked in my little shed.
Oh, the rapist is afraid of being raped.
Yeah. Well, isn't that how it goes? Isn't that how this whole world works?
Fair, fair. No, that was mean. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. So hurt your feelings. Oh. Anyways, what was I gonna fucking say? I'm stoned as fuck.
I don't know.
Shit.
We're talking about
Shit.
Not talking about rape.
Shit.
I'll tell you that.
No, we weren't. We weren't for sure. Fuck. I lost it. Anyways,
Yep.
go with it, bro.
Okay. So yeah.
You saved the show.
Fucking
Dead air,
Mexican
dead air.
food, rape, zombie apocalypse.
I don't know.
There's not going to be any red lights,
No.
and then you're going to try to escape in the best ways. Probably, honestly, it's motorcycle, because
That'd be the best way.
bicyclist is cool, but neither of us are in that kind of shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much adrenaline either of us
No.
are getting.
Nope.
We're not in travel the country level shape.
Nope, fuck no.
You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, I think you got to have a motorcycle and hope to Christ that you know how to drive it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Other
Yeah.
than that, like,
Bikes are good, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't rely on like electric scooters because where are you going to charge it? Gas scooters
Yeah.
even too because you're not always going to be able to have access
Yeah.
to gas.
or you
know?
take everything you can get. Just be willing to abandon vehicles when they're done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You find an electric scooter, fucking right until the battery dies. Then you're,
Oh yeah.
Then you're back on foot again.
You pull it Dead Rising style,
Yeah,
where you're
yeah.
just picking up shit as you go.
Yeah, you know.
Using it and then just going to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, like, once you get a certain point, like, are we just back to normal laws again?
Sure. I'm sure once you like get into the next state, or maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing because California is huge, right? So probably when you get to a certain amount of counties over where that's not reasonably affected by the
Yeah.
whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Then probably it goes back to regular law, I guess, you know.
Oh, yeah. And for us, like, where we're at, there's no way to cross out of California without going through forest.
Yeah.
You either have to
Forest and hills.
Yeah, you either have to go through the hills and forest of Tahoe, the hills and forest of the Sonora Pass into the Rockies, or the fucking hills and forest of fucking whatever was like a little south of that. I forgot what the other way was, but where you come up through like Carson City or whatever.
Yeah, and then if you go up towards Redding, that's just mountain range that goes into Oregon.
And you don't want to go south because that's where LA is, which is also going to be getting fucking
Probably gonna get fucking nailed.
bombarded.
Yeah.
I watched a video of this dude who put together like a real time simulation of like what would happen, right? And it would be like essentially the U.S. would probably shoot a nuke or so at like a Russian base, trying to hit their nukes, and then everybody just releases all of theirs at once.
Yeah.
And Russia's got like 4,000.
Everyone panic, presses all the emergency buttons.
Bro, Russia has like 4,000 plus
Yeah,
nukes, and
I
we
bet.
have a little over 3,000.
Yep.
So it would just be like, we probably wouldn't actually survive the blast.
No.
If one nuke hit SF, maybe, but if like 30 or 40, I don't
think
know.
so.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's what I'm saying too.
I think we're
saying
melting the
before is,
ground
like,
beneath us.
I think the bombs at some point will get so big that it'll do like actual damage to not just the land, obviously, but to like the earth itself. You know,
the one that the U.S. is trying to approve is 15 times bigger than Fat Man.
Fuck,
And 24
Why?
24
Why do we
times
need
bigger than
that?
Little Boy.
Why does anybody need nukes,
Bro,
dude?
each one of those nukes killed about 1 million people.
I would rather us shoot each other to fucking shreds than just nuke whole fucking areas.
Yeah.
You know? Like war, I get it. War is never gonna fucking go away. It's human nature. I get it. But let's not fucking use like cataclysmic fucking bombs. Like come the fuck on, dude.
I wonder if Biden and Putin just like are trying to like do a legacy thing. Where like, let's be the ones to just end humanity, dude. We're both about
together.
We're both about to
Yeah,
die
and
anyway.
Just roll it out. Who fucking cares?
Let's see who
you know?
wins, motherfucker.
There's probably some I you know, it's scary to think about, but I bet you there are some politicians that do have that in the back of their minds.
Well,
you know?
imagine if you were Putin,
Like,
right? Like you were.
You just don't give a fuck anymore.
Your whole goal in life is making Russia like the dominant power of the world.
Yeah.
To make all of your ancestors of Russia proud. and you have a chance to do that, and you're already dying, you might as well fucking die.
Fucking wrap it up, baby.
By accomplishing what
Fucking
Russia
wrap
always
it up,
wanted.
baby girls.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to die making Russia the biggest like name in history there's ever been, as opposed to just having cancer and then having this stupid fight where we're just hovering over the button all goddamn day and going, you go prison.
Yeah.
You fucking bastard. Yeah. And then Biden's like, 116 years old, just fucking wandering around like a Roomba. So, I mean, like, why not? Like, kill everybody. I'll be dead next week, so it'd be dope if my whole family and country joined me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, we can dissect the mentality of all of it, but it's all just fucking retarded in the first place. But, yeah, I mean, being Putin's standpoint, like, I'm sure he has entertained many times that he's just like, why not just fucking
I would.
it all,
I fucking would.
Like, there's a lot of people probably that would at least think about it,
If you had the button, right, let's just say the button was like in your spare room where you keep your video game stuff, just in the closet and a glass case around it with a key, right? You have the button.
Yeah, it's like not like just like oopsies, like you actually have to like activate it and then press a button.
But you have it.
Yeah.
And if you do press it, you're deleting humanity, essentially. You think about it every now and then. Yeah. Hard day.
I think everybody would.
Hard day in traffic. You're sitting in the car. I'm gonna go home. I'll kill every fucking person there's ever been. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm gonna kill you for the next 6 generations.
I probably would get existential.
I'm gonna go Library of Alexandria on your ass and fucking put humanity back 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck it. Not
Fuck
even 1,000
you.
years, just annihilate everything.
Welcome to the Ice Age, you motherfuckers. And then you go home, you take a bong rip and take a shit, and you're like, I gotta get shit to do tomorrow.
They say it's a cold day in hell, but good thing I'm bringing hell. Fucking bam.
I got my sweaty. Fuck you.
Yeah, I would probably get existential. Can't say that word. Why can't I say it? Existential. Existential. There we go. I'm autistic, I guess. That I would probably get that level with it. I would be dissecting humanity and how we go in circles and shit, and like, is it ever gonna break, and is it worth it? And he's the alchemist kind of like. Yeah, is this all worth it? Kind of full circle of life thing.
Think about the rest I can give all these poor souls. Just press this little button right
Imagine this planet without humans. But what if we imagine the planet without humans? Both sides, right?
Yeah. Or imagine like just getting like an Amazon package delivered and it was broken. Right, and you're just like,
there's the really cheap side of it all.
I'm gonna fucking nuke Amazon.
Pow!
I'm a nuclear winter on this whole fucking country. I swear to God.
You stub your pinky toe on the corner of a hallway and just not even scream. You just sprint to the bedroom and just fucking bah!
I like that idea. Just like you got like a fucking marker and you've been etching the names of people onto the rocket for when you finally fire that bitch.
The people who deserved it. The people you're specifically aiming at.
Yeah, dude. You got fucking 3,400 nukes and you're just pedally riding on them.
Fuck you.
It's like,
Jeffrey.
Fuck this bitch.
Kick your ass with this fucking nuke.
Oh, just because I didn't immediately slam on my gas when the light turned green, you had to honk at me.
I told you to drop off my food at my porch.
Well, guess what, Toyota Corolla on December 1st, 2023. You're going down, motherfucker. It's bad for you. Like, he doesn't even know people's names. He just got angry moments at one point that he's writing.
Right. Not even the names of people. Yeah.
It'll just be like, 1127 stubbed toe at Walmart. Employee didn't care.
It's just got
Target, Walmart.
December 14th, this bitch frowned at me funny.
Yeah. I was on BART and somebody was doing street performing and were aggressive when I didn't have any money to give them. So now I'm going to bomb that whole fucking tunnel and close that bitch down. There will never be a train going into San Francisco again.
January 15th. I hate this bitch's voice.
Yeah.
You ever have that? You ever be in a situation and you hear like a group of people talking and there's one motherfucker that's voice is high pitched that just like almost like nails on chalkboard sits above everyone else's voice. Like,
I was listening to a comedian I really liked the other day, and it was one of his really early specials.
Yeah.
So like not a lot of production. And like there was times where his voice just the frequencies actually hurt.
Yeah.
Listening to him talk.
Yeah. I think there's like one or two of those in my voice sometimes,
Yeah,
depending on what the register I'm talking to.
Yeah, and it's not like he speaks super high.
Sure.
But just some notes would like your ears would start to like cringe.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't like
It
that.
hurts. Yeah, almost.
And the first thing I thought of was like, oh man, yeah, he must not have had like really any money for like a good sound editor because I know his voice isn't that bad, or I don't normally hear that when I listen to him on everything else. So
Right.
this was on the guy in the editing room, the motherfucker.
Yeah, and I mean like me in early too, like early technology maybe, and like maybe not even like audio's being processed.
It was like
you
all
know?
the way back in like 08.
Yeah, it's probably just getting captured. They try to make sure it doesn't clip, and then it just gets exported.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of post processing to some degree, but
Yeah.
probably not a whole lot.
No.
Especially when you're starting out, not even considering technology, just starting out, you probably don't have access to venues that can do that in the first place, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? But, dude, being a young comedian back then, would you, that's actually an interesting question. Would you, as an aspiring stand-up comedian, you know, which we're going to be getting you on the stage eventually, y'all should fucking pressure Thickness in here because he's got some talent, he's got some stories. You know, you listen to this fucking show.
Yeah.
And this fucking motherfucker needs to get on the stage. I've been trying to push him out there. I know he could do it.
Yeah.
Fucking comment and harass his ass, dude.
Yeah.
But all things considered, as a comedian, would you rather be starting up as a comedian in this day and age, or would you rather go back during like before all the greats formed, you know? Like maybe like not quite Charlie Chaplin, like way back, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
But maybe like before Dave Chappelle, before like George Carlin, or maybe George Carlin's actually actively doing you know, like that kind of era. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Would you rather be in that era starting out, or would you rather be in the modern era starting out, like out of preference?
Modern era.
Yeah, oh yeah? Interesting. Why?
George Carlin's era, there was still a lot of like comedy magicians. Like comedy wasn't really big yet.
Yeah.
So there was only going to be like one or two people making it. And then really even up to like the 90s, like the best you could do is Comedy Central or HBO. And if you couldn't get one of those, you probably weren't going to ever really make it.
Okay.
So like I think now, because this is like the first time in comedy where everybody actually has a shot. Like back,
there's exposure available. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
back then-
It's fair. It's fair.
back then you had to live in your car for 10 years traveling open mics
The Hollywood story. Yeah.
to even kind of start getting some recognition. And like nowadays it's like you could just start a podcast and start like talking to people that way.
Refine
Like,
your craft that way.
Like if I was, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think if it was back then, one other thing to take into account is that like the economy was a lot different. So you could probably easier afford to live in your car for a year and be okay, or for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, everything is so expensive. Like you'd pretty much be homeless if you wanted to be like a traveling comedian. You know what I'm saying? Until you got good, you'd be making, you know, just maybe $50 in a night, and like there'd be gigs that you'd be going to for like exposure that you'd have to spend money to even get to, and you'd probably lose money overall even doing it. Especially the ones where you gotta like fly and really travel.
Yeah. You'd be kind of like a traveling like musician. In a way. You're like a gigging musician.
Yeah, like I've heard of comedians talk about in their earlier days, like spending $500 to get to a gig that paid them $3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
just for the fact that they might meet people, exposure.
one or two more fans, you know.
Networking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's stuff like that is where like the love of the game phrases like were birthed, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're really not making anything out of it until the end, you know? Right. And at that point, if you don't like it, how the fuck did you make it to the end? You know? Like, Jesus.
I think if there's one time I could start that isn't where we are now, it would have been the late 90s.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like mid to late 90s when like everybody that's huge today that we know for the most part started.
Starting out.
Chappelle, that's when Chappelle, that's when Rogan.
Yeah.
Coco Diaz, Bert, Tom,
Louis C.K.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Like,
I think Jeff Dunham was getting popular around that time too.
Like a lot of it, like your colleagues or peers that you're class with, would be some pretty fucking awesome names.
Yeah.
You know, Gabriel Iglesias is on there as well. All these, because like we found out about them, you know, in the mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s.
Right,
but the
they
reality
started in the 90s.
I think Rogan started in like 93 or 94.
Yeah, I'm sure Kevin Hart started in the 90s.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, like, you know, they were around for a fucking long ass time before you ever hear about them. And then you hear about them and what do you say? Oh my God, I found this new guy. And you talk to people and nobody knows them and you're like, oh man, like he must be up and coming. He must be like brand new.
Yeah, that was popular.
And then they get their first special and you're like, oh my God, this is fucking great. Like he must be really new in his career. And then you look and it's like, oh, this dude was on like an episode of Road Rules in 1989.
Yeah.
Like this motherfucker's just been around doing shit this whole time. It took a long time for him to reach me.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting too, that like you mentioned too that they get like kind of big too around like when they get their specials and stuff, and usually that's kind of like the defining factor for every comedian when you get to the special point where you can have your own Comedy Central whatever, right? And then especially around that time when all of these guys are getting huge, Dave Chappelle, etc., right? I feel like the technology for broadcast and like I guess AV in production as a whole was starting to take leaps too. And comedy, like, just benefited from that, you know, because there's already a growing medium, and I feel like almost two pillars just kind of came together at the right time, and then they just grew each other,
and adapted. Like with comedy, like one thing I really like is the microphone never went away.
Yeah,
because it's like at first it went from like, you know, corded microphone on a mic stand, and the comic walks around and they've got part of the cord in their lower hand.
Yeah.
And then the mic in their right, so that way, because they know they're moving a bit so they don't get caught up on anything.
Right.
Then, if you know, watching comedy specials, you get to the era where they first made mics with wireless receivers on them.
Yeah, yep.
So they got a microphone with a fucking antenna sticking out the bottom of it. Then it got to the era where people were starting to use like headsets.
Yeah. Over the ear.
And that's where comedy was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I think we need
theater.
Traditional, we stick with the holding the microphone.
Yeah.
If anything, you can have it on a stand.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
stylized. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so it didn't like go all the way to where it's like just always sticks with technology in that sense. But like was like, all right, this is perfect. Great. Now bring us other shit.
Well, also, I think there was commonly, if you think about it, a lot of comedians will do like microphone play, you know, where they will deliberately take their mouth away from the microphone,
or they'll hit themselves with
effects,
it.
or you know, they work with the idea. You know, comedians are actually probably the most mic technique like aware, you know, which is kind of cool. I don't just now make that parallel, you know.
Well, that's
but
if you remember early in the show, we didn't use mic stands.
Yeah,
because I always told Mike, I was like, a comedian's always holding their shit.
We can always change it.
No, this is cool. This is cool too.
It feels more official.
I feel like I could lean in.
It's podcasting.
You know
We're podcasting right now.
I got itchy skin right now, so it's kind of nice being able to scratch.
Oh yeah.
Going back to the abatement thing, that's fucking terrifying as a job.
Oh, the asbestos stuff.
Yeah, man. Like, I can see why people quote so much. So here's the thing. I reach out to an abatement company, small, mom and pop. You know, I'm thinking this is who I want to go to because I'm a contractor. I know what things cost but what they're worth, and I'm willing to play the game a certain extent. Right.
Right.
I know that this part only costed X amount. I know that you're charging me this much because you've got to eat.
Right. You got to make profit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Now that's more than fine. When it gets to a certain point, it's like, okay, well now you're just
racking in.
You're just making too much bread, brother.
Yeah.
So I call the first shop. It's 3 ducks. One duck is 8 feet long, one's 5, and one's 4. Right? So not even body length for most of the ducks.
Yikes.
We're talking minus We're talking max 20 feet
Yeah.
of duct
Yeah.
and a plenum that needs to come out. $4,000 was the first quote.
Damn!
$4,000.
Holy fuck.
That was to have him come out, look at it, them abate it, then to have a third party come check the air,
Yeah.
and then have them come check the air.
Oh my god.
And I was like, all right, now $4,000 is a lot. I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks, and it's not even my house that I'm doing this in. Technically, it might be one day.
Right.
It very well could be one day.
You know, the dice might roll in that favor. You never know.
The conversations that I've had with my roommates, it sounds like it probably will be my house.
Okay.
Down the line for me and Bubbles.
Right.
Not like, here's the house, thanks for living here. More like,
right. No, help Bubbles.
I'll put this in your name and help Bubbles. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I guess in some sense, technically one day it will be my house. So that's why it's kind of worth doing these kind of investments into it.
Sure.
But at the same time, like the thought of being like, yeah, here's $4,000, fix my roommate's house that I walk in to use the bathroom every now and then.
Yes, kind of sour feeling.
Yeah, it's like they're not contributing to it, which because I'm not. Mostly because, it was all surprise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one of them is, like, dying. Financially, they don't want to think about improving the house right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's the last thing on their mind.
They need, yeah.
And and Pat's in the hospital all the time. So it's not like they had the money to just be like, let's do this big project.
Yeah.
So that leads me to, well, then you got to do it yourself.
Yep. DIY, baby.
If you don't want to spend that kind of money, dude, then you're going to have to fucking figure it out and learn how to do it.
Yep.
So
some man shit.
I started watching tons of abatement videos, people talking about asbestos, how it works, how to get rid of it, like
good old YouTube.
Safely.
You learn fucking almost anything on YouTube.
By the time I was done learning, I was like, I might as well just open up an abatement company and start doing asbestos.
Dude, the power of YouTube.
Because I accurately, and I've never done this before on a project, I accurately bought exactly what we needed.
Oh, nice.
The right amount.
Yeah.
The right amount of everything. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was needed.
Hell yeah.
And I did that all for $400.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So
that was a fraction of the final price.
400 I can eat.
Well, minus labor. Yeah.
Yeah, like 400 I can eat. That's great. Like, I mean, again, like, I mean, it's like a big gift, essentially. So
it's your Christmas present, basically.
Yeah. So, 400, I'm not complaining versus 4,000, so, and I know that nobody's going to be breathing asbestos in the house anymore.
Yeah.
But motherfucker, dude, like, it really is like one of those, like, I'm looking at it like it's death itself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
you know
dude.
What I'm saying? Like my service manager, my buddy, was nice enough to come help with two other guys.
Yeah, squad out. If you guys listen to the show, shout out to both of you.
Yeah, and he's dealt with asbestos before. He's also been in my industry a lot longer than I have by like 4 or 5 times.
Word.
So he kind of already knows some of the do and don'ts of asbestos above me, right? I've just been watching abatement videos, so I know what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. I know that we need to be safe, but I'm taking it to like level 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I bought everybody like a high-end respirator.
Good for you.
With the right filters,
make sure
like
safe,
it was like
the right way.
Yeah, I got everybody disposable crawl suits, and I essentially it was like $100 a head to make sure of safety equipment.
Yeah, good for you, bro. Hell yeah, good.
And like we're moving and like we're trying to break through this plenum. And we're like kind of breaking up the attic at the same time because the wood's so like moist and fucked up, or the old drywall is. So it's all kind of coming apart and coming down, and asbestos is like raining on us as we're doing it. And every time something drops, I like back up, and he's just like, "What are you doing? Like it's fine." He fucking ripped the whole thing out and got it out of the house. But I couldn't imagine doing that. Like as a grunt worker for long periods of time.
No.
Because even with the full respirator, goggles, and a disposable crawl suit over me, every time I would agitate the asbestos, I was like, oh, don't breathe.
Yeah, you got nervous, I'm sure.
Yeah. And like, that's just pulling a box out of a closet that's wrapped in it. Imagine if like those people who have popcorn ceilings.
Oh my god.
And you have to scrape them off.
Yeah.
With like those big spatulas on a stick.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm over here questioning the legitimacy of this respirator and all I'm doing is taking a tightly wrapped box with asbestos on it that is in good condition,
Right.
and throwing it in a bag.
Right.
They're standing under it as it rains and clouds the room as they're scraping it all off.
Dude. Yeah.
Like, you better really trust that fucking respirator.
Right.
So there was like a little bit of me being like overly cautious, which I still don't think there is anything wrong with.
Sure.
But I was treating it as if we were doing like that popcorn.
Of course. Yeah.
like, I was-
Well, you're just nervous, dude.
Yeah,
That shit can be lethal.
I was treating it like, it's like I can't have one fiber enter a lung of anybody I know.
No.
Not a fucking
Not
person.
today, bro. Good on you, though.
Yeah.
Good on you,
But,
though. Safety number one, dog. 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things like when my roof blew off my house. So we had to do a day's worth of roofing to rebuild my shed roof.
Yeah.
I knew after that day I don't want to be a roofer. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
After
not for me.
Yeah. After yesterday, I know I don't want to be an abatement person.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, 400 in supplies. I mean, for 4,000, that guy's probably making quite a bit of extra money on the overhead charge. And that
For
much.
sure. Oh, for
You know what I'm
sure,
saying?
dude. Probably making some bucks
Yeah.
on that.
I mean,
you know?
he's got to pay for labor.
I mean,
too,
that's
but
like, I think that's always too. You got to think about like the I guess what do you call it?
labor, insurance.
No. When you're on a dangerous job site, fuck.
hazard pay?
Hazard pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably hazard pay baked into that.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
for sure. Right.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was even still cutting me a deal, but it's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's $3. Like, we can.
Makes you wonder what a big contracting company like a commercial one would have charged you, right?
Yeah,
Like
or like
8K at least double.
or in some cases even that there's so much stuff to be done that the company has to tell you to knock over and rebuild the house.
Yeah, like permit
Or
structure.
structure, like,
Everything.
it's
yeah,
like
they go through full
They
code.
condemn properties.
Yeah.
That
Oof,
would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be shitty.
That'd be
as
fun
fuck.
to be the guy who gets to do that. I worked for a guy who was like a city inspector, and he'd gotten to do that before.
Just to completely decommission houses.
Yeah,
'cause they're
it's like,
fucking
nope,
bullshit.
nobody's
Can't
living.
do this. No, sir.
No humans in this one.
Do you know how dangerous this is?
Yeah.
We've been here for 50 years.
Well, that's
Don't
not
care.
good. Yeah, time to go.
That's 50 years that you shouldn't have been here.
Yeah, shouldn't have tried to fucking get a pool or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck prompted
Some
me to come here doing an
bullshit.
inspection.
Yeah, some bullshit, dude.
Oh my god. He
Dude,
also
especially
told
in
me.
California, the laws for building stuff and everything is so fucking.
Well, so
there's grandfathered in laws, I guess.
he was telling me about the city of Brentwood, which
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you ever went out there when we were kids,
No.
but and I'm sure you've heard people say this.
empty.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Fields.
It was just ranches,
Yeah.
essentially, just people with cows. And
Yeah,
now,
It's building up, bro.
now it's like a city.
Yeah.
It's like a legitimate, like nice.
Yeah, they're building it
You know
up
what I'm
over there.
saying? Yeah, like there's a lot of shit going
Somebody
on.
has
over
some money and they're funneling that shit over there, dude.
there. Oh yeah. Oh fucking yeah.
Yeah.
But why was I bringing up the fucking Brentwood thing? God damn, this is such a weird Stony episode.
It's okay. We've been fucking blitzed.
This is one
we
of
put a
those-
little special something.
This is one of those like fucking
in the,
all sorts of retarded episodes.
all over the place, dude.
God
today.
damn it! What does this have to do with asbestos removal?
I don't know. But your point, as far as not your point, because I'm high as fuck too.
Nice.
Our point was talking about asbestos, and yes, it would be shitty as fuck to be a grunt worker just dealing
Oh,
with that
yeah.
in general. You know, you mentioned before the ceiling ones, right? My mind thought like, yeah, at one point you would have like a shop vac or something with you, and you're scraping and just at the same time. You know,
Yeah.
'Cause at least then you're sucking up some of it,
Yeah.
and it's not just clouded everywhere.
Yeah, it's called
or
it's called
something.
a HEPA vac.
Oh, good. They do have a system. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But let me-
I vividly just saw somebody
But-
with a putty knife.
Well, let me tell you a story, sir.
Oh, boy.
So I was one time doing this job, and I had to basically take a furnace apart,
Mm-hmm.
and like for a deep cleaning,
Okay.
and
Yeah, because you do services, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and at the same time, the place had just been sold or was being sold, and they were getting rid of the asbestos, or they're at least having some work done.
Sure.
So I walk in, and the place is empty. It's got like 4 Mexican dudes in it, all in t-shirts and jeans. And I asked them, I was like, "Hey, is it like, are you guys like painting? Like, what are you doing?" Like, nobody speaks English, and I was just like kind of pointing at the furnace. I was like, "Can I work here?" And they're like, "Yes."
Yes,
And I was
yes, you
like,
can.
Good. So then one comes in that looks a lot more confident than the others, and I'm like, "That's the boss." So I walk up to him and I'm like, "Hey man, do you happen to speak English?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" And I was like, oh, I'm working for this HVAC company right now, and I'm here to work on this unit. So is it cool if I work here, or are you guys like, am I going to be in the way? And he goes, oh yeah, don't worry about it, man. Like, they're going to do the area around you, and then when it's time to do where you're at, they'll just have you move for a minute, and they'll just go back to work. And I was like, oh, that's fucking perfect, right? So like, no worries at all. Like, I'm going to do my shit.
Uh-huh.
I grab all my tools, I come in, and like, again, these guys are in t-shirts and jeans.
Right.
They roll in a wheelbarrow and some type of weird machine that I've never seen that almost looks like an electronic trash can. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of painter needs, what is this? You know, like whatever this is. So I find the guy again, and I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? And he's like, oh, we're taking out the asbestos out the ceiling. And it's just like, so you were just going to rain asbestos on me this whole time. You only wanted me to physically leave for a moment while they rained it where I was standing.
Oh my God.
And then just go back to work in the room. Also, none of these guys have respirators.
Really? They just don't give a fuck.
No, it's just dudes from Home Depot. They just told them, like, I'm pretty sure this guy's a contractor, and he just went to either Home Depot or like U-Haul or like Lowe's and was just like, I need 5 guys for the day. Here's like 150 each. And then the guys just hop in the truck. They don't give a fuck either. They probably don't even know what the word asbestos is. He just says scrape the shit off the ceiling.
Just give a shit, yeah.
And they're like, okay, scrape it off. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought about doing that.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
But not giving a fuck.
But on the other end of the spectrum, so like instead of hiring Mexican dudes to come in and rip all the asbestos out, I thought about hiring cleaning ladies to come clean the house and just not tell them.
Oh my God. Just not give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, just not tell them at all that what we did. Just be like, I just need the house cleaned. You know, dusted, vacuumed.
You know, I'll only be a minute.
Yeah. It's like not that big of a job, you know what I'm saying? Then whatever they
just not give a shit.
Whatever their rate is, I'll just give them like a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's a nice tip. I was like, oh, here's a tip. Look up the word mesothelioma because you're going to be dealing with it later, and you're going to want to prepare yourself. Okay, see. Okay, thank you. Because they're just going to agree with you. They're not going to listen to what you're saying.
Yeah, well, they probably don't even completely give a shit.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
Just want you out of your house, out of their house.
Yeah. So I thought about doing that, but unfortunately the roommate's already back in there. So if they get the cancer, they get it.
Too late now.
I'm not going in there. I mean, like I might go in. I fucking took a shit this morning in there with the respirator on.
Yeah, of course.
Well, because
for your shit though, not for the asbestos, of course.
Because like essentially, like I said, we built that plastic hallway, and then that tunnels to the bathroom at the end of the house. So I was like, all right, well I should like the plastic is like the last part of this. I need to tear the plastic off while not necessarily like waving it around and shaking all the particles off of it. So I kind of like rolled it as I was tearing it all into like this perfect ball, and then threw that in the trash.
Right.
And wearing the respirator because like I'm like in my mind I'm like if there's after yesterday doing the tunnel cleaning, the only thing that should have any contamination would be that plastic at this point.
Right.
So like I respirated up, shirt off, fucking grabbed all the plastic, and then took a fat dump with the respirator on like Bane.
Yes.
And then grabbed a shower with it. Yeah.
Oh,
But it's like
that's a stinky one.
the thought that I like was like, oh man, if I'm gonna be in here right now, even to go to the bathroom, I really should be wearing a respirator. And then like maybe 20 minutes later, about 20 minutes later, I get a text from my roommate, we're home.
And fuck.
I'm like, well,
Too late now.
I guess, I tried to warn you guys. God damn.
The dice on this one.
Dude, it's like, they just don't understand. It's like,
No, they don't give a shit.
I'm like,
Sure.
It's like, I need you out of the house because this is going to be dangerous. Okay, we'll come back as early as absolutely possible.
It's like, no.
So you couldn't even wait till checkout or gone to lunch first?
Yeah, something.
Like, you're just going to go, all right. Go ahead.
Whatever, too late now.
Whatever.
Too late now.
You guys breathe that in. You're in their 70s, Pat's already dying. I thought about having Pat do it because he's already dying.
Yeah.
See if he had the energy one time to get up and rip that plenum out of the wall.
Hell yeah. One final man shit thing to do for him.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he liked doing that at one point. You know, I'm sure he got to a point where he couldn't anymore.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah, like now.
But you know, I'm sure he enjoyed doing that stuff. You know.
Yeah, you know, he was an electrician. He did all sorts of that kind of shit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hard right the conversation real quick here because it's been a topic that we brought up a couple times in the past couple weeks. GTA 6.
Oh, well, you got some new developments?
There is some new news on GTA 6 and 5 leaks that recently came out. So
Let's hear them.
First and foremost, did the headphones
No, they're
break?
just sweaty.
Oh, okay, my bad, dude. It's getting. Do you want me to turn the air on?
No, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
word. Let's see. GTA 6. So first and foremost, it was announced recently that I don't know if it was like from Rockstar or if it's rumored, but there's current speculation that it's going to release between mid-year of 2025.
Wow. Okay.
So that's 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And then the 5 big leaks, right? So first and foremost, they're going to have enterable buildings. So supermarkets, bars, clubs, pawn shops, restaurants, as well as apartments that players can enter. You know,
Okay.
not sure if that means
All that was in 5.
Well,
which is
hold
good.
on. In specific, not sure if that means just specific buildings or everything.
Oh, everything? Jesus.
Yes.
Jeez.
These are leaks and they're all rumors,
Yeah.
right? And the speculation is this is just like not just, oh, you can go to a supermarket on this one side and the supermarket over here. It's like if there's a market that you pass by that's like, or an apartment complex or any building, you could see that and go, I'm going to go inside it and it's going to be enterable and there's going to be something in it, you know?
Yeah.
So, which is, if you think of just consider the scale of GTA 5, could you imagine every single building, every door you could enter, whether or not it's like 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's stuff in there, you know? That's a lot of content, first of all. So GTA 6 is also supposed to be significantly like larger than GTA 5.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be almost like 4 of them.
So that plus the enterable buildings, everything's enterable. That's a
Yeah.
lot, dude.
Yeah. No,
That's a lot, bro.
It's supposed to be like literally 4 times. It's 4 whole cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the next one here I'm reading is so the next one is for the story, there's going to be 2 active protagonists. For the first time ever, GTA 6 could feature not 1 but 2 playable characters. So the leaks showed 2 playable protagonists in a Bonnie and Clyde type of setting, 1 male, 1 female, named Jason and Lucia, who were seen holding up a diner together. This could potentially be the first time that Rockstar Games has included a female protagonist in its GTA series. Well, who the fuck cares?
Sluts.
Like, wonderful. If she's badass, I'm down. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Next one is hacking. So GTA's looks like that leak is they're going to be taking influence from GTA 5 and Watch Dogs because there was some basic hacking in the heists.
Yeah.
But they're going to add this to the open world.
Oh, no.
So there's like tracker jammers, immobilizer bypass, USB drive stuff, you know, and then auto dialers that help you hack like vehicles and police, like, or, you know, etc. Insert whatever the fuck you do it with, right? So that could be cool, you know, taking a page from Watch Dogs. 4th here, we have the police recognition system. Like Red Dead 2, GTA 6 might also feature a witness and police recognition system. In the Hank Waffles robbery video, blah, 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 blah. The wanted levels read full description, meaning that the police have a full description of the character. Once the character enters a police vehicle, the status changes from no vehicle description to full vehicle description. Interesting. So it sounds like police have a variety of ways to like track you even after you have all your stars gone, depending on the level of stars that you have. You
Which
know?
I
That's
like
pretty
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be a little bit like careful about your bounties around, especially it makes sense with how big the map's going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be like wanted in different counties and then not on the opposite side of the map.
Oh,
you know?
man. I'm going to have a whole separate account from Bubbles in this game.
Dude, this game is going to be fucking wild from what I'm seeing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And then finally, the last leak, there is an eagle eye system now that they're going to be adding.
Aw.
Directly leaked from Red Dead
Boo.
2. It will would purportedly allow the character to highlight items of interest such as security cameras, safes, jewelry, and more. probably NPCs so they could shoot. Players might also be able to grapple during fist fights. Additionally, players might also be able to threaten or talk to NPCs like Red Dead Redemption 2.
I like that.
Nice.
That was fun getting to on Red Dead 2. Like some dude on the horse would come by, and he'd be like, "Howdy, partner." He'd be like, "Howdy," and then you'd be like, "Better get the fuck out of here. You're gonna get fucking murdered."
Yeah. You go, oh wow, I don't want any trouble. Or they'll be an asshole back to you.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You want a piece of this dick? Like, yes, I do.
You want to lick my? Fucking lick my balls, bitch.
Dick my balls, you goddamn homo.
Yeah, but dude, so I think that's what do you think? What are your thoughts on all those leaks? Are they positive? Do you think you said boo to the
Eagle Eye?
the Eagle Eye thing?
Because I thought it was gonna be Eagle Eye, like just slow down time for shooting.
Oh yeah. It seems like, but I mean, in
Seems
principle,
annoying.
it probably is going to be that. It's
Yeah.
just they're also going to add like you'll be probably in that slow mo thing. But then you'll just see highlighted cameras and stuff,
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure, but that's what it seems like it's going to be. I am particular interested in the police recognition system.
That's gonna be cool. I'm wondering how that's gonna go. I wonder if
Yeah.
that's just gonna be more of like a, the more stars you get over time, the easier it is to get more stars faster.
Yeah, something.
So it's like at one point, it's like getting 5 stars is actually fairly easy to do if you're always doing that.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to read.
But then can that ruin the game for you?
I would hope not.
Because like at Red Dead, like there's one thing where you can get bounties that are so high in so many places that it becomes like I don't feel like unlocking all of these again and like paying all the bounties and getting into being able to travel safely through the whole thing again. Like it becomes overwhelming at one point to where it's like I'd have to spend all of my in-game cash just to be able to walk freely again. And the mission system is over, so there's no way I'm going to get more. So at this point, it's just like, I'm just going to get harassed everywhere I go.
Yeah. So
because it happens. I mean, I've seen Bubbles do it because think about it, like at the end of these games, these Rockstar games, typically you have like a fuck you amount of in-game cash.
Yes.
At the end of every Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead game.
Yep.
It's hard to spend through all of it. You can buy every car. You can buy all the ammo as much as you want.
They give you everything.
They give it to you to where you could probably play for like a year or two without ever having to worry about what you're spending. And that's like a lot of gameplay in that year or two.
It's
like,
probably their hook to you to get online.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So it's like, but there is an end though.
Yeah.
And then if you get to the end, it's like, the only way you're going to be making money is by punching hookers and getting like $11.
Yeah.
So if you're at that point and then you're bountied out everywhere, it's like, okay, I can't even drive for a second without having cops trying to kill me. And like, I can't make any money anymore. So it's just like, I just can't play. You got to start over.
Yeah, that's fair. I wonder if the
I mean, you got to be
bounties will fizzle.
You definitely have to be like a full level retard to get to that point, but I have one,
Yeah, but I mean,
His name is
what you're
Bubbles.
describing is basically a soft lock,
Yeah.
where you've soft locked yourself out of the game and you can play the game, but you can't advance or do anything.
Yeah.
Because all the content is being blocked to you by something, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, and that's kind of shitty. Like, you don't want that in your game,
And,
regardless if the player's retarded or not.
They made it hard to do it, but it is a possible thing, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wonder with the police recognition if it's going to be like bounties or if they just mean like when you try to like steal another car that it's going to be easier for them to figure out it's you. And like
and maybe your wanted level goes back up higher.
And then like there's like the more witness kind of thing where a witness meter goes off and somebody's gonna call the cops on you. And
you only have so much like that. That'd be dope.
It's like you only have so much time to try to stop that witness before they get the call off.
Right.
And then if you are gonna murder that witness, you have to make sure that you're gonna murder the next witness.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and that's all the Red Dead stuff. But then it'd be cool to like advance it further where. Like you get away and you stay away from a while, but like they still like have you on profile, right? And then when you go and steal another car, you don't start out with 1 star; it immediately jumps to 2 because you have the previous crimes on file. You know? But then after a certain amount of game time, it fizzles and resets because obviously, if you were maxed out 5 stars. and then you went and like I don't know, fucking robbed somebody, it'd be annoying as fuck to immediately skyrocket to 5 stars every fucking time.
Every time,
you know. So there's got to be some kind of like reset timer for all these crimes or bounties or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
You know, because that'll get old real fast.
It'll get really
know?
fucking annoying. Like there was times when I was playing Red Dead 2 where, because I always share video games with Bubbles for the most part.
Yep.
Where in my downtime, he would be fucking getting hella bounties on his head, and we're still playing through the story mode. So like, I'd come on to play after like a week or so to advance us further, and I've got so many bounties that I can't afford to actually pay all of them at once.
Sure.
So now I'm constantly, making camps and getting overran by like bounty hunters and having to kill all of them at like 2 a.m. and you can't run into a town without having another ping that somebody's hunting you, and it got to the point where it's like, all right, now I gotta do all this extra shit just to get all the bounties off us again, so I can actually advance us through the story. All because this little fuck, I mean, he's just because
he doesn't play games the way you play games.
Yeah,
that's wants for fucking sure,
and that's why it's good that we share.
Right.
It's just when he plays them in the middle of me playing them is when it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I will happily take a Grand Theft Auto game, play it start to finish, and then just give that character to Bubbles.
Yeah.
Because that's all he wants.
Yeah, he wants all the end game stuff. He wants to go blow shit up and cause havoc.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I want the story. So, like, it is kind of like a match made in heaven on that sense. But then every now and then he wants to do blow up and do all that crazy shit while we're in the middle of our storyline, and he fucks us.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it,
You
Bubbles.
sign back in and you don't even like know that he played the night before, you know, and then you're just fuck off somewhere else.
Missing half your shit.
Yeah,
Like,
you're naked for some reason.
Yeah, he sold your shit for worse shit.
Or you just died a million times or something, Yeah.
You had all mythic gear.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's like the little brother. He's like your little brother that you play games with. You know?
Yeah, he really
that
is.
is not coherent enough to be able to like actually play the game.
Oh man, speaking of playing games, I played a little bit of Miles Morales on the PS5.
Oh yeah,
so good.
Oh good.
It was so good.
Yeah. Did you see the fucking video I sent you?
No, not yet. I saw that you sent it in, but when you sent it in,
some dude. There's like a whole half of, maybe not half. I mean that's an exaggeration. Well, a third or maybe fourth of the people who love the fuck out of the Spider-Man games fucking vividly hate the Miles Morales. No, not Miles Morales. The Spider-Man 2, the second game that just came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm hearing some really good things about it at the same time.
Yeah, it's the people that like really liked it but wanted, the next thing. They wanted to see new stuff with it, not just remade, And then they're apparently like towards the end there's a lot of fucking like virtue signaling in the game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it,
Well, there was virtue signaling in the movies too. I mean,
of course, but this is like they're double chocolate chip dunking the fucking virtue signal.
Like in Across the Spider-Verse, in like the opening scene, Gwen Stacy has like a protect trans kids flag above her door.
Oh no, dude, it's worse than that.
Yeah,
it's worse than you can imagine.
What do you mean?
Not
worse?
imagine that. Like, there's a part where Mary Jane becomes Scream. Okay. And I know the whole idea is that it's the evil voice, in her head that's like making her say evil things to Peter. But they have a whole fight, and for 10 minutes. It's a whole of her just bitching about me, like about how like the women are always put down and stuff, and it's always you that have to be up, blah 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 blah. Very like they're clearly touting strong feminism thing.
Yeah, but isn't it while
and
she's
shoving it down the throat for 10 minutes?
But didn't you just say that happens when she's like possessed though?
Yeah.
So if anything, it's kind of a funny joke that like, look at this crazy bitch talking about women's rights. She's lost her fucking mind.
Right. That would be appropriate if she had lines doing that.
Yeah.
But again, somebody deliberately wrote out 10 minutes worth of those lines. Do you know the?
Well, they did that in Red Dead too. They put that chick in Saint Denis.
I don't know. I didn't play the game.
You didn't play Red Dead 2?
Dude, there's a lot. I didn't play Witcher.
You played Red Dead 2. You might not have finished it. You played it.
I played the first
You played
hour,
it. I know you
couple
played
hours.
it. Well, Saint Denis is like one of the bigger towns, and in the beginning of the game, release, not the beginning of the story, but in the beginning of the release of the game, there's a woman who's standing in the street talking about women's rights. And remember, this is like 1801.
Yeah.
So she's out in the middle of the street talking about like women's rights and the suffrage, trying to get them to vote and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it became a thing in the community where everybody was fighting her and just beating her to death and feeding her to crocodiles and shit like that.
Yeah.
So they definitely wrote in this like aggressively woke character, but then the community turned it into something hilarious and beautiful.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's the community translating it.
Yeah.
So, like, long story short, what the video is claiming, which I watched most of it, and I can kind of sort of, I guess, feel it. I know without having played the game, but that's just one thing in the several moments that like fills all of Spider-Man 2, and basically it's not just the virtue signaling. It's a lot of like the dialogue and the writing is like, we hate Spider-Man. And Miles Morales is taking over because Spider-Man sucks. That's literally, they're not deliberately saying, Spider-Man, you suck. But there's a whole moment where Peter Parker like has like maybe a Scream or whatever, or Venom or whoever the fuck is right. The city doesn't need me because it has you. I suck. Self-deprecating. It's like the whole game. It's one thing when there's bits of that for character development, and you are breathing like an animal into the microphone right now, my guy. Sorry, buddy.
I can't hear it in my.
I can hella hear it for sure. It's okay, buddy. But the whole fucking game is just a good chunk of we hate Spider-Man, and the game is supposed to be about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Miles Morales is not really in the game. He's in there for a couple moments, but it's definitely like supposed to be a Spider-Man game, and the entire way you're just kind of made to like watch him fail over and over and over again and just be a loser and not rise to the occasion and not. That's not fun, dude. Like regardless of, it's not fun. Like you play a video game to feel cool. And sure, it's nice to have those pitfalls and those sad moments, but when it's the whole game, then there's a problem.
Well, isn't like all of Far From Home, they all hate Spider-Man, and that's why he gets Dr.
Yeah,
Strange.
but that's a different story, technically. So
story of Spider-Man. There's always in Spider-Man parts where people hate Spider-Man.
Again, we're movie, video game.
No, Spider-Man comic too. In the comic universe, there's times where people hate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In the movie universe, there's times where people hate Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I mean.
So does that mean in the game universe, people can't hate Spider-Man?
No, it's not at all what I mean. What I mean is, like I said before,
Yeah.
It's boring to be the loser the entire game when you're playing a video game.
Yeah.
It's when you're a movie, you're a passive watcher. You're watching a story. You know?
But you still love Spider-Man.
But dude, I'm telling you, man. Like again, you'd have to watch the video, bro. Like the way that it's like written, it's as if the people writing it dislike Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And just completely lay him in the dust.
Yeah.
It's as if you were a writer and you had a new idea, but you had to trash the one that's currently in place so you can get to the new idea.
Yeah.
That's the whole game.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like the problem was with what the video is explaining.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it could be just because I watched the whole thing and I only see the bad parts,
Yeah.
But it's also a hour-long critique of the whole fucking game.
I've seen people do
it's pretty
plenty
crazy.
of critiques about things that I love, though, and that I didn't agree with. People love and hate everything that comes out. So I'm sure that there's an hour-long video about how wonderful it is.
Yeah.
That makes similar and great points. That has everything laid out perfectly well. If you hate something or love something, if you stack, then you stack, and like you probably get somebody to be on your side by the end of it. You know what I'm saying? My question is, were the mechanics great? Did it look...
it's the exact same as the other game.
Okay, sounds pretty good so far. They added the wingsuit.
I don't know. I have no idea.
There's wingsuit mods now.
Cool.
So now they've added that whole extra element into getting around. And I mean, fucking, they've added story to it instead of just being just web here, punch everybody. Now web here, punch everybody. So to me, it sounds like a massive upgrade. It's prettier. I already know it's going to play really well because they figured it out with the mechanics, which, like with Forza, we don't blame them for that. We cheer them for that. And, like, you've added a wingsuit, so now it's funner. For an already super fun to web around the city, now you've added a whole nother aspect to make it even funner. I could turn on Spotify during the cutscenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not too worried about what the characters are saying if the game is still going to be, like, really fun. I can't tell you what Just Cause is about, except for the fact that it's Spanish Revolution. That's it. I don't care, you know, I don't know what that story was even really about.
Sure.
But I know that it's one of my favorite games to pick up a controller and play.
Yeah.
Just because it was fun, you know what I'm saying? I can't really tell you what Infamous was about. I could tell you it was about being good or evil.
Yeah. What side you want to choose versus,
As far as, like, what everybody was like the dialogue in main story, I don't even really remember. I just remember, like, it was fun to, like, be evil and have the crazy red electric powers, or be good and have the fun but not as cool blue electric powers.
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying for sure, definitely. But you're also, like, on one camp, you know? Like, I know you appreciate your story, but from what you just said, it's more you appreciate the game, right?
Yeah, because we're playing a game.
Yeah, this side of things, they want the story, you know? And the game is nice, but the guy says specifically in his video that he, like, wants a good story, you know, out of a video game. That's neither here nor there, but that's his perspective.
Yeah.
I think just both sides. I'd have to play the game, which I'm not going to. Like, let's be
You'd
honest,
have to have a PS5, yeah.
Video games have been decreasing in interest for me very rapidly. You know, as I get older, you know, I just have other things I want to do. But that being said, I definitely, from watching the critique for sure, I can agree that the writing is poor. You know, not even just the virtue signaling side of things, the way that they just make you feel, I guess, useless as Spider-Man all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, there's no good moments that Peter Parker has in that whole fucking story. He's just constantly failing, constantly losing. Every fight, the villains are making you feel like you're the bad guy and everything. And it's just kind of a bummer. Well, just watching the video, you know, and where he wasn't talking over it and he just shows full clips, I was like getting bummed out. Like, just watching the game. You know?
Is that the game, like, or is that how he chose to narrate the story?
No, because, like, you could... He literally left the whole 10 minutes. He's like, dude, here, just watch the fight. The whole 10 minutes of him and screaming Mary Jane. You know, you just put it on.
But that's meant to be
know?
dark, though. I mean, it's Mary Jane being possessed. Like, it would be weird if she was being possessed and telling him how awesome he is.
Well, yeah,
and
of
how
course.
great everything's being.
Of course, but my previous point, like I said before, is that there's a line, you know?
Yeah.
And even if you're making comedy, for example, you know, there's a point in pacing and flow where you make the joke and then you move on to the next thing and you add new lines, right? Like, you don't continually write it because that's when you start getting into cringe territory. You know?
But you're also an editor, and you know, if I gave you 500 hours of footage and I said, here's 100 of bad, here's 100 of funny, here's 100 of horror, you get to make what you want. So, given that guy could just be like, here's all the bad things I saw, and I'll make sure to just line them all up together, and you're going to think it's bad. So my point being, like, there could be the same interview out there where the guy's only showing good writing. He's only showing the parts in the game where he is being redeemed. Like, does he never get redeemed in the game once? It's only shit on Spider-Man?
I don't know.
Or did this guy only put a video together where he shows you Spider-Man getting shit
I
on?
have no idea. Like, again, like, I'm just telling you what the video is explaining.
I know, and I'm saying that, like, it could go either way still, you know what I'm saying? Just because one guy hated it.
Yeah. We're talking in circles. I get your point, but I feel like you're also not getting my point slightly.
My point is that there's so many people that hate on everything that comes out that the point of listening to anybody hate on it before enjoying it or seeing it yourself is just kind of, it gets you nowhere.
Sure.
You might play Spider-Man and fucking love it, in which case you wouldn't even, maybe you'd agree with that guy on some things, but it would have, like, you'd see that video and it wouldn't alter how you feel about the game at all. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. So it's like, there's always going to be people who come in and are just like, I hated this. It could have been better. Here's what they did wrong.
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time a game came out and everybody was on board?
I don't know.
It doesn't happen.
Idea.
It doesn't happen. Because some of these video game motherfuckers are just never happy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, sure. We're bouncing back and forth between points hard. We're not on the same conversation at all.
Because to me, it sounds like we're just presenting another guy that hated a video game. And he made a pretty decent story about why he hated it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, he didn't like the game. Right.
Yeah, and to me, I'm just saying there's always going to be that guy.
Yeah, okay, but can't just invalidate right out the gate, other perspectives.
But you can't validate either.
No, but you can listen to it and talk about it critically.
Yeah. But you can also listen to it and challenge it critically.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I just, holy shit, this is a shitty fucking conversation right now. We are not hearing each other like at all.
No.
The only thing I was bringing up with the Mary Jane thing and trying to explain was that it was long and monotonous, and it could have achieved the point of being dark and accusational and everything.
Yeah.
And then just continued the fight,
Yeah.
Like, it didn't need to be 40-plus lines, 10 minutes nonstop during this epic, sort of fight,
Yeah.
It could have just been a couple of lines, get the point home, you're a bitch, Spider-Man, you ruined me kind of thing. And then ended at that,
I totally agree with that.
But yeah, that's what I was trying to say before.
Well, it sounded like you were saying like the whole game is bad because
No.
they want trans kids to be protected.
No.
And they're not nice to Spider-Man.
No, I didn't say. I'm telling you what this critique has been, and what his perspective is, right? And that was what I agree with the Mary Jane thing, is that when I was describing that there's a certain point of where you make a joke, but then if you keep digging the joke, it becomes cringe now.
Yeah.
It's that, Like
they
it's
just
digging the virtue signaling stake deeper and deeper,
Yeah.
You could stab me with it, and I go, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. But then when you start fucking digging into my kidneys, I'm like, you're an asshole,
Yeah.
That was what I was trying to make with that point, Yes, I agree with you that doesn't mean it invalidates the whole game, by any means, not at all, But I do agree with some points that argue that there needs to be you need to pull back on the flag a little bit. You need to pull back on the fucking how hard we're pushing in onto this,
Yeah.
Like that was what I was trying to get at, is that I agree with that more than anything.
My point, my thing is like I could just see the dude sitting there,
seething, right?
Sitting there just hating everything he's seeing.
Yeah.
And then being like, this is absolute trash. I've never written or performed or achieved anything in my life, but let me tell Sony how they fucked this one up.
How bad it is.
Because I've gotten so much done. It's like, fuck you angry
and
fucking.
There's definitely a camp of people that influence folks before they've even played it.
Yeah, and
for sure.
There's so many movies and games out there that it's like, it comes out, it gets shit on super hard, and then I play it personally, and I'm like, I love that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I hear that there's any bad critic review, I'm just like, I mean, I've never followed that and been like, I'm not going to play or see that movie. Or, like, it's always just like, it's that cocksucker was probably having a bad day.
I think so far the only bad, holy shit, we're way over. My bad.
Yeah.
The only bad critic review I've paid attention to recently is a Starfield one,
Yeah.
Because everyone has been on kind of nervous toes and is this going to be good? You know? So I feel like there is going to be people who are overly critical, but I think Bethesda's also gotten to a point and put themselves in a point where they kind of deserve that kind of microscope, because they fucked up so many times in the past several years.
I have one person that I know plays it, and they really like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's good. Okay.
And
I've heard 50-50.
They were big fans of Skyrim, and they're much bigger fans of Fallout.
Oh, that makes sense.
And he was like, it's Fallout in space.
That makes sense.
And I was like, oh, well, if that's what you wanted, then that sounds like that game was perfect for you. That's great. If you want Fallout in space, then you got Fallout in space.
Yeah, then there's the flip side of people who were loving Todd Howard, the fucking Todd Howard fanboys and stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that Starfield was one of his brainchild was when he first joined the company Bethesda when he was a young programmer, but he couldn't make the game at the time because, quote unquote, the technology wasn't there for it or whatever. So I think a lot of people were expecting a lot out of this game, and Bethesda has not been known to deliver in the past several years.
Yeah.
So I think it was just kind of a sore spot for some people when it was it's a good game, but it wasn't the game that they were expecting. You know, the baby of Todd Howard that they view.
Yeah, that's how we felt about Borderlands 3.
Yes.
They put Borderlands 3.
Exactly.
They put it on such a crazy pedestal, and we're we're going to take a decade to make this because it's going to be perfect and the best game you've ever played.
Yeah, dude.
And then so now you're ready for the best game you've ever played. And you log in, you're like, damn it. It was all right. Like, it's a good game. I mean, is it better than 2? No.
Yeah.
And we waited a lot longer for 3 over 2.
100%, dude. Yeah, it just felt bad, I'm sure, for some people.
The replayability wasn't there. Like,
So
yeah, it just wasn't the same.
it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, I heard Starfield's good so far.
I've heard 50-50. You know,
And
like,
I would-
a solid 50-50.
I would play Spider-Man, but I wouldn't buy a console to play Spider-Man.
I agree with that.
I think that's where
For
I'm
sure.
at. That's what I got from this like cat sitting trip that I did with a PS5.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like Miles Morales. I played for like 4 hours, enjoyed the fuck out of it. It only took me about 20 minutes to get used to the controls again. It just naturally flows really well.
Yeah, you just get to the game mode, you know.
Yeah, and then they add, there's tricks and stuff like you can do, and good soundtrack and everything. And even then, it's like, but if I really wanted this, you're starting with a $600 on top of that $60 game.
Yeah.
So it's like, is Spider-Man a $60 game to me? Every day, I'd play the fuck out of Spider-Man and get my $60 worth.
Yeah.
Is it a $660 game?
Yeah, no.
No. Is it a $100 game? Maybe, if you got some DLC coming.
Yeah. But even then, yeah, to your point, you need more games to make that console worth it.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that
like,
you can't get elsewhere.
Yeah,
Because you have the Xbox S.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you got God of War and Final Fantasy, but honestly, that's still not going to be enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. There's like, just the Xbox just has more exclusive shit, and it's just already have
Yeah,
it. So,
everything that you can get on the PlayStation
Yeah.
that's cross-platform, you
Yeah.
already have on the Xbox.
Now if I didn't have an Xbox,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, okay, yeah, like because I probably would, if I started over, I wouldn't get the S, I would get the X.
Yeah.
In which case, we'd be talking probably the same price as a PS5.
Yeah.
I would have gone PS5.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
better
describing the essence of the console wars, really.
Yeah,
Right? You know,
yeah.
like whatever one you land on kind of inevitably becomes the one that you use for your entertainment center.
Yeah,
You know?
and Sony would be a
So-
better entertainment center than
Yeah.
an Xbox.
Yeah. We talked about this a couple episodes ago,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I use a Fire Stick instead.
Right.
Xbox is just for games. Fire Stick for media. With Sony, I would let Sony do
The whole
my-
thing. Yeah. It's an all-in-one
I would-
multimedia platform.
I would let Sony run my Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I know it's not gonna be buffering or doing dumb shit.
Right. The other thing is Sony's internet security to their servers is not the best.
No.
They've been known to get hacked into a couple of times
On
in the
Christmas,
past several
those
years.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, this is the worst.
Hacked on
Makes sense because
Christmas.
nobody's in the office,
Yeah,
right? So no one
yeah.
will know, right? You
Yeah.
know? I bet you now motherfuckers are in the office on Christmas
Oh,
because
yeah.
of that shit. I bet you some poor motherfucker who's in the network engineer side of things, has to at least check into the office and like monitor something. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I bet you, right? Security especially. That must suck.
That's
that
gonna
must
suck so much
fucking
dick.
suck. You better get paid big bucks.
Yeah, that is the one difference between Xbox and PlayStation is I've never put my credit card on a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, because you're not safe.
Yeah,
Not safe.
every time I've ever gotten anything on a PlayStation Digital, I go to the store and I buy a PlayStation points card.
Yep. Smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
With Xbox, I've actually put my card on there before because you don't really hear about Microsoft taking hits like that.
Because Microsoft's a computer company.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They
Sony-
know they've done this cybersecurity
Yeah,
bullshit.
Sony,
know.
Sony makes cool screens.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Microsoft's on the fucking front of the warfare when
Yeah.
it comes to cybersecurity.
Sony's like, we're making cool speakers. High quality, bro. You'd be like being in a
Yeah.
theater in your house.
Hard cut over to Microsoft when they're wearing soldiers with hats going Granada and throwing shit, men dying and stuff. Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Oh man, and their fucking antivirus software is usually trash anyway. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you'll have it, folks. This episode was brought to you by Sony.